to my bathtub and putting that monkey on your back. It's Welcome to Minority Podcast.
I think he drowned. I think he drowned. I think he drowned. If this was video, we'd have a graphic up. Green Heath, 1923, I suspect, to 2023. He was 100 years old and 4'3".
Oh dear.
Wow.
All right.
Precious memories.
Indeed. I do appreciate that has, like a few things, has made its way into at least some of our listeners' brains as an automatic thought when they see or hear certain things within MLS. So that's delightful. So thank you, Mike.
Welcome.
I appreciate that.
We're sorry.
I'm not sorry. Fuck that.
Yeah, I'm sorry that a joke we stopped doing about 4 years ago is
still in your brain.
is planted itself in the back of your mind. And what?
Hey, Mark, Fagundes.
Watch your mouth.
There we go. All right. Well, hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Vocal Minority Podcast, the podcast that did enjoy taking last week off. How are you? We missed all the drama. It was lovely.
Hi.
Friend. On this week's episode, we talk about TFC's recent form, celebrate the U20's World Cup qualification, preview the Voyageurs Cup final, yay, and more. And now this week's panel. He's rested, he's refreshed. Of course he wants to podcast. Welcome to Duncan Fletcher.
I'm kind of sad that I missed the drama. Games, whatever, but so the drama and everything. Oh, yeah, that's sort of my wheelhouse. So
I did think of you, and a part of it was I was like, please don't fire them while Duncan's away. That's just not fair.
But yes, so all right, I'm on vacation. I'm not going to try and get on Twitter and everything about this, but it's like, yes, this feels proper and right and like home. And I'm glad you guys didn't talk about it last week, so we can discuss it briefly this week.
There you go. We saved it just for you.
Yay.
Shockingly choosing TFC over Forge this week, it's Mark Hinckley.
Well, I mean, of course, yeah. Why wouldn't I go to TFC because my nephew wants to go to his first game? Well, of course I'm going to Toronto FC.
Good uncle.
Hardcore.
Yeah,
TFC for life, yo.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah.
Did you get him tickets in 114, Mark?
I have tickets. No, we're going to be in the U. He's going to be joining us in the office.
Nice.
For 117. But I still need 2 tickets, but hopefully it gets resolved before it's too late. I still need to get 2 more. But anyway, otherwise, yeah, taking a potentially hyper 9-year-old to his first pro soccer game.
Cool.
Nice.
You're a good uncle, Mark.
But we'll
good uncling.
I uncle as hard as one can uncle. Let me tell you.
You uncle like Ted.
That's fighting words.
It's a good thing we don't do this show in person anymore.
Yeah.
I feel like something bad was about to happen.
Yeah, you're going to be on a carrots real quick, Kristin. Real quick.
You don't know what's in my fridge.
True.
Super excited about a new coach. Say hello to Tony Walsh.
Hey, monkey!
Oh, sorry. I meant bloody monkey. Sorry.
There we go. That's better. As for me, I'm hoping that my internet holds on for the entire show. Cross your fingers, everyone. I am your host, Kristin Knowles. And now to our show. All right, first up on the show, what's been happening? And lots, because we haven't been here for 2 weeks. We're going to talk about TFC. We're just going to talk about the games a little bit. We'll talk about all the other stuff in the what we're talking about section, because that's how that works.
Good place for it.
But we do have to mention some of the drama, because the first game, the DCU game, a week and a half ago or whatever, was potentially, I don't know, not potentially, it felt like a surprising result for a team that was apparently quitting on their coach, hated their coach. Meetings were being called and so on and so forth. And the season long calling for Bob Bradley's ouster as well as Bill Manning's, the cries got louder. There was talks of protests and delight. There was a few signs in the crowd. It was delightful. It really did. It felt like 2012 all over again. It was very warm and fuzzy.
The custom T-shirts were
the custom. Oh my God, the T-shirts.
Cringy, but I mean,
they were so cringy.
Go for it.
Fill your boots. Fill your boots. Fill your torsos. Whatever.
Fill your torsos. Never been said.
Right. But now, also, it's not as though DCU are world beaters
that's probably
right now.
That's probably been the tagline for some kind of sex toy over the years.
Fill your torso.
Oh yeah, by the good people. That's by the good people at Whammo. That was the company. I think they owned the original patent on the Vanny 3000.
Oh, what it was called, the Vanny 5. Yeah.
Yeah, the Vanny 5, aka the torso filler.
Good.
Anyway,
He'll sit you on the bench.
Oh.
So there was a drama upon drama leading into the match against DC United, and one of those things was the benching of Bernadeschi for apparently, whatever, for his comments after the previous match, which TFC foolishly removed from their website. They never should have done that. That was a stupid thing to do. It was all over the internet. Why? Don't be dumb. Just own it. Whatever. So Bob benches Bernie.
I love that film.
I know, right?
When he puts the sunglasses on him and makes him look smiling and makes his arms move, it's so good.
It just has like the thought bubble that says "Come on, TFC." Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
So everyone's like, "Oh man, this is going to be like a crappy match." It's against a crappy team, but still, what's going to happen? What happened was surprising in that it was a pretty tidy win. Like, that was, Mark and I were at that game and just kept remarking to one another how fun it was.
Yeah.
And how engaged and focused and good the team was. And Insigne, who had been, quite frankly, not good for basically most of the season, was fantastic. Like, literally, where has this Insigne been?
Oh my God.
Because I don't know that we've seen this from him for 90 minutes, maybe at all, since he came to Toronto. And like, it was ball movement, it was, making runs, it was assisting, it was defending. Like, he was defending consistently. That man hustled his tiny little ass up and down the line like you would not believe. It was astonishing.
Yeah, his I think I just have like that set expectation for certain pedigree of designated players where it's just, I'm here to fill the spot, and I'm gonna the ball's gonna come to me and I'm gonna score goals. And I mean, I think it's clear that he's realizing that's not how this works ever. But that was a very, very complete performance, like man of the match. Like,
oh God, yeah.
How many times have we gone to games where they would just hand the man of the match award to Seba because, hey, he played, guys, look, man of the match. And
the sponsor wants to get a photo with
exactly
100%. It's just like, that's bullshit. We all know that he's not even the third best player on this team tonight. Insigne deserved that award.
Oh, hell yeah. If they'd given it to anybody else, it would have been a lie.
Incredible performance. Inspiring, because it felt like he's turned a corner, and like, this is a contribution we might be able to expect from him on a regular basis.
It was it was wonderful. Like I don't remember the last time I had that much fun at a TFC match, just from start to finish, because they were all up for it. Like every single one of them. There were outstanding performances.
Remember the match the day after FC Edmonton were folded? You were giddy like a schoolgirl.
Shut it, Walsh. Anyway, the other highlight of this match were our companions in 117. Lovely older couple came into the row, stood next to me, and they were clearly very engaged. They were really, really focused. And partway through the first half, gentlemen showed up, where we sit in 117, we're right at the very back row. So people, come up there sometimes, and he sort of leaned over and said something, chatted with them for a minute, and then he left. And he was wearing some sort of pass, so clearly, either works for the team or has access to something. And I guess the gentleman noticed, and he's like, oh, that's my son. His son is playing right now. I was like, go on. Who's your grandson? And he's Kobe Franklin. So Kobe Franklin's grandparents sat next to us for the entire match. They took off during half to go pick up their custom Kobe Franklin kits.
As you would. Good grandparent should.
They had talked about going to the suite where dad and presumably other family and friends were, but no, they decided to come back to watch the match from the stands.
Hang out with
Adorable.
Is this just another one of those things where it's you guys, isn't it? It's Mark's been loud and charming and amusing the older folk. They want to hang out with him. That's what this is all about.
This is the second time somebody called me charming today. I feel so special.
So I had a couple lovely conversations with Grandpa Franklin, just about Kobe's performance. We've talked about him, and a lot of people are talking about him. He's had some time with the U20 Canada squad. So I asked Grandpa Franklin two things. One, if he was hoping for a call up for the Gold Cup squad. And, he was like, yeah, we're all really like hoping that will happen based on his recent play. Unfortunately, glancing at the massive preliminary roster, it does not look like that's happened. But again, if his play continues the way it's been, and it does continue through the next two matches, he should expect a call from Herdman at any minute. And then I did ask him, because I had to. I said, if you feel like you can tell me if you know anything, understand if you don't want to say anything. I said, but how does Kobe feel about everything that's been happening? Does he like playing for Bob? And you could see he was like trying. He was like. So he said, you know what? Kobe's a rookie and he's a professional. He says he just wants to play. So right now he is keeping his head down and he's staying out of any drama. And that's it. And I was like,
that
truth or just professional answer? I'm not sure.
Excellent grandparenting.
It really was.
Get the shirt with your grandkid's name on it, and you don't give in to the pressure of the media, Kristin.
Kristin Knowles trying to break grandparents since 2007.
Anyway, they were very delightful, and it was super fun to watch the match with them, and especially such a good match. So then we have this resounding response to a week of drama. Players who showed up for their coach instead of doing kind of what a lot of people expected, which is we're going to put in the bare minimum effort. We're going to get our coach fucking fired, man. Because we've seen it happen before. Yep. So then we move forward to Wednesday against the Fire, which is a team that Toronto traditionally, we generally have their number. And also playing at home again. Nice, a little mini homestand. Bernadeschi's back in the starting 11. A little questionable, perhaps. But an okay performance. Not on what happened, the previous match. 0-0 draw. So clean sheet. Yes, we're back to our drawing ways.
Drawing.
What was frustrating was the lack of finishing, because this was a game in which it wasn't that Toronto weren't trying. They had 19 shots, 7 on goal. This was a case of this is partially a case of the replacement keeper deciding to play for his position, because very soon into the first half, who was it? Was it DeAndre Kerr that collided with Chris Brady? I think so, yeah. Completely accidental, no foul was called or anything. It just was, one of those two players coming together kind of thing. But he had to be taken out. He was injured. And as soon as the replacement keeper came in, I got it like 2 minutes after he'd already made one spectacular save kind of thing. I got a text from my stepmother saying, really hate it when replacement keepers come in and stand on their heads. Yeah, it was good times. So that was a lot of that game, that there was a lot of chances. There was some obviously finishing has been an issue for TFC, and that does continue. So it was a combination of some bad finishing and this keeper, Spencer Ritchie.
Oh,
yes. Oh man.
I hope he becomes a free agent one day.
Well, I'm surprised like Hawk's not a player agent or something. Why is that in my brain? Anyway, really but a few strong performances. Insigne again, still doing did not just immediately revert back to being lackadaisical and not helping out. No. He was still all over the place. Richie Larea, probably still, one of TFC's best players. Well, he has been all season. Kosi Thompson looked good. Kobe Franklin looked good. So some really, really nice performances in what was ultimately disappointing 0-0 draw, but clean sheet. Always nice. Nice not to lose at home. Sort of felt middling, but kind of after the big win over DC. And then came this last weekend against Minnesota.
Man.
See, now that's programmed in my brain from our show.
Yeah, because that's what we do. 9/11 was an inside job.
I can't hear Minnesota without automatically in my head going McMahon. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's programmed in my brain.
You're welcome.
Yep. Yeah, actually, that one you should apologize for. How dare you?
Oh, I think all of them are. It's really what it is.
Listeners, maybe pleased to know that the After Gambians in the Basement, being the number 2 choice of this, the Body Shop was actually the 3rd choice name for this podcast.
Yeah. That was well before they were even considering joining the league.
Yeah.
Oh, that's delightful. That is delightful. So, Toronto traveled to play the Loons, which brought about some memories of Adrian Heath for some of our listeners, and
Job. That's as good as that's gonna get.
That was good. Yeah, bubbles. Loons are terrible, or just not very good at home right now, which is I find funny. What's his name? Who's their controversial holdout? Is it Reynoso?
There's something going on with Reynoso. He kind of came into the game and they were talking about, there's been.
It's the first time he's played all season.
He's back and what have you? Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy in the stadium when he got subbed on in the second half, because he famously didn't report to camp at all. I don't even think he was with the team for 2 months. He's only been back for maybe a month. And those were his first minutes for the Loons this season. Was when he came on. Unfortunately,
what's his problem then? Why?
I don't even know. I sort of did. I stopped paying attention. I like the loons, but it seemed like he was just being a dick, basically.
Okay.
Yeah. Like I haven't seen a lot of, it wasn't a family issue. I think it was either money or contract related. So anyway.
All right. Yeah.
He's back.
Get what you're
But
worth, guy.
up until his subbing on in the second half, for most, like this is a frustrating one because they did ultimately only get a point. It was a 1-1 draw, which was a wasted. I really do. This is one of those games where I do feel like they dropped 2 points, even though anytime you can get a point on the road in MLS is good. But they played pretty well for much of this match again. And that beautiful goal, Larea, Bernardeschi, Insigne, nice goal. Will you take nice goal?
Yeah.
You won't. You just think it was lucky.
Yeah, well, I mean, sort of Bernardeschi lost the ball, but it just came right back to him. Then he tried to pass to Kerr, didn't work out, but it just came right back to him. Then Larea's tiny, not tiny, but really super slow little cross across the box. The fuck were Minnesota's defenders doing?
Oh, the ball never should have made it. No, of course not.
So, I mean, it's preposterous that the ball even got to Insigne.
Nice goal.
I guess it was a nice finish. Yes, lucky is what I would call it.
A lucky goal with a nice finish. How's that?
Yeah, it was a competent finish. It wasn't outrageous, but competent finish once he got to Insigne, yes.
All right, we'll go with that.
Lucky and not worth the, oh, wow, that was amazing. Look what they did there. Yeah, Bernardeschi lost the ball twice and it came right back to him for no good reason. Yeah. Meh.
Fair for the money.
So, but again, there'd been some good play. There was a rare halftime sub by Bob, which he freaking never does. I was like, who are you? And then you could just see Toronto just dropping, just exhausted, basically. And it was like, okay, you're allowed to make more subs, right? Right? Bob, more subs. And I think,
but what's he going to do though? There's probably a whole bunch of just random type little kids shitting themselves off the bench. He's supposed to be putting them in.
Yes, he is, because that's what he's had to do all season. It was that was obviously what Heath brought on, especially in Reynoso, because he made an immediate impact, very energetic. That was hard for Toronto to fend off. They couldn't. That goal was coming, as you said. You knew that goal was coming.
Yes,
and it just wasn't. Once Hedges came off, that was also as well as Mabika has been playing, and we should give Ame Mabika some love because he's been actually quite good throughout the several matches that he's now started. I've been impressed by him. But yeah, Hedges coming out, that was not great. But yeah, you could see, Heath brought on did a bunch of subs, very, halfway through the half. And yeah, after that, it was just kind of loons. That goal was coming. The fact that they held on.
Sorry.
The fact they held on for the draw was impressive.
Sorry about that.
No, it's fine.
I think what really kind of took this wind out of the sails, what I thought, because of course that goal was going to go in, and I just thought, yeah, this is our station right now. Bed shitting in that felt like it was at the 91st minute. I don't know.
Something like
No,
that.
it was right at the
Yeah,
very
like
end.
it was
of
at the
second- of
death.
the second
Yeah.
half. It was at the death. Oh yeah, it was a total
it was
typical TFC conceding at the death goal. Yeah, for sure.
like not that there ever is going to be a definitive, hey, we've turned a corner and it's not as shit as we thought it was. I mean, don't get me wrong. A month ago, if you told me the next 3 games you're gonna have 5 points, I'd have called you a liar.
Yep.
For real. Never mind whatever optimistic bullshit I was saying then. 5 points, 3 games. Okay, sure, whatever. But this is pretty good. I don't think the performance didn't deserve a draw. I felt like they kind of deserved the 3 points, but it's not terrible. It's far from terrible. But seeing Hedges go down was like, oh please,
I know.
on, please.
Well, because he went down early. He went down earlier and then like kept playing, and I was like, oh okay, he's all right. He's like, no. Narrator, he wasn't all right.
No, he was not all right. But
fingers crossed that he is all right though, because man, they are a different team when he doesn't play. It is terrifying, actually.
True.
Again, as good as Mabika has been, you put Rosted next to him, it is not the same. Not the same. Anyway, it's been a weird week and a half for Toronto, and we'll talk about it a little bit, but just I think on whether or not Bob Bradley saved his job with that one performance and then the 2 subsequent ones.
Low bar.
Very low bar. A little CanPL check-in. The Pacific, the Aquaman Willie's match. That was a wild one. Holy crap.
Oh, the 6-3.
Was it 9 goals?
Yeah.
Every time it was kind of like muddling along, right? And then suddenly goals started being scored, and then my phone just kept going. Zzz, zzz, zzz. I was like, what is happening? It's nonstop goals.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. What I think is unfair about that scoreline is it really
flatters.
It so flatters Pacific. Like the game was not that one-sided ass kickery as that scoreline kind of looks. Like it was a bit of a slugfest for the first, I don't know, 60 minutes or so. I can't remember.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And it's just they got a couple like okay, I want that one back. But once you get 2 or 3 of those past you, it's like, okay, this game's out of reach. But that was I've been trying to watch all the highlight packages on YouTube because I can't be arsed to watch the whole game. And yeah, it was kind of that looked like it would have been a fun match even if you saw your team lose.
Oh yeah, for sure. And then shout out for TJ Tahid, 16-year-old,
the kid,
youngest ever scorer for the league, youngest ever signing, and a decent goal too. But what's great for stuff like that is if you need a shot of serotonin, if you need like a little bit of a feel good moment, just the way everybody celebrated that goal with him. Like his teammates were I think they were more excited than he was. They were losing their shit. It was delightful.
Yeah, no, it was lovely. A lovely little moment, a nice little slice that, I feel like this gets overlooked a bit too much. Like, some of these kids are literally just kids, and being able to just revel in the fact, like, holy shit, I scored in a pro league with adults. Let's call it what it is.
Yeah.
This isn't me, downplaying League Ones, but this is a job. Yep. This is. I mean, he probably has school in the morning.
He's probably got homework. Like, are exams over? Does he have any assignments due? Like.
Yeah, like he's going back to calculus after this sumbitch, but
100%.
But like, holy shit, like that's incredible. And I mean, I'm kind of glad that I'm kind of glad that I got to watch that part of the highlights where just the reveling in the delight. Like, yeah, they got shellacked, but that is a way better moment than all 6 of the other goals. All 8 of the other goals scored. So
It's wild.
yeah,
it was wild.
That was wonderful.
And then Halifax. Oh, Halifax.
I want so much more.
Continue to still have not won a game. They have still not won a game all season.
Oh dear.
Yep. 6 draws.
That's as good as 2 wins.
So they're like an artist. Gotcha.
It's like half a Giro.
Mm.
Not even. It's like a tenth of a Giro.
Yeah.
A third of a Giro. That's fair. That's that. I mean, and a third of a Giro, you know, if you eat the end of it, you know, you're getting like, and a third of a Giro, 10% of your first bite's bun or pita. So it's like, so really, we're talking 20% Giro meat. And then if you calculate in sauce and, you know, other.
Oh yeah, you got to do the sauce ratio.
Yeah, honestly, you're getting down to about 15% Giro meat. And that's the analytics of the week.
That's why we have you on the show.
Brought to you by Nutrition Facts. Yeah.
Al and Joanne say Giros are good.
Body break. So
my body broke.
That's TFC's slogan for this year.
Yeah. That's just body broken. Yeah.
I love Giros.
But let's are we saving the best for last, Kristin? Because like Forge did some Forge things. I mean,
yeah, I was gonna let you talk about that. So
yeah. So all right. Well, I'm gonna do the good one first, and that was the draw in Calgary. Watching them steal a fucking. It's not so much they stole 2 points as much they robbed Calgary of 3. That was kind of nice.
Basically what it felt like. Yeah.
Yeah, and
that is magnificent mathematics there for us. But did it go from a draw to a win for Hamilton?
No. They stole 2 points. They prevented the full 3 is I think what I meant to say, Duncan.
They stole 1 point and robbed 2 points from Calgary.
That's the one. That's the one. God, is that what vacations allow you to do? Think better?
Yes.
Shit, I need one of those then.
Refreshed. I mean, come on, you're an accountant, Mark. You should know this.
I am an insurance attorney, according to one idiot in Instagrams. So anyway, what's funny is particularly like, holy shit, they scored, and because I from zoomed out, I couldn't tell who it was, and they all piled in celebrating, and when they all separated, who's in the middle? It's like Jordan Hamilton. Fuck. Okay. Yep. So, like I'm of the mindset and are some other people that I speak to who go to Forge games that we don't think Hamilton actually has any of the trust or faith from his teammates. So the fact that he scores goals, I mean, this is his 3rd goal. I can't remember. Either way, that's about 3 more than I thought he should have had. So that was particularly funny. But then we'll go back to the Wednesday game because that's the one I skipped the Chicago one to watch, and that was Hamilton York, and so Hamilton like York scored the first goal they scored was fluky own goal type shit. I hate those, but you can't do nothing about it. But with about 7 minutes left in time. I can't remember who it was. I'm gonna look it up right now, but where's the name? It was Sumaro. Yeah.
Sumaro.
He'll blast a shot from 30 yards out, Sumaro. Holy fuck.
It was unreal.
Absolutely leathered the shit out of the thing and like under the bar and down. I'm like, oh, like it sucks watching your team lose, but there's a little bit of a silver line. Like that was a really fucking good goal though. Like I was kind of like, weirdly, the neutral part of me, I don't know who this asshole is, but the neutral part of me was going, yeah, but bro, did you see that? It was amazing. So, I mean, it's kind of like if I'm going to lose, I want to lose to something like that you can't stop and no one's going to get their hands to it or poke it over the bar or whatever. What a goal. So that was particularly funny. But ripping Calgary off of a win kind of made it even as far as I'm concerned. That's always a feel good moment for me and their tears. But yeah, back to you, Kristin.
Thank you. So with all of that and with the draw between Winnipeg and the YU guys, also another freaking banger of a goal from what was his name from Winnipeg? Like ridiculous goal, Debrien. Like
okay, yeah,
like just nonsense goal. Like to tie it up. And he had a great match anyway. But with all of that, Hamilton is still clinging to the top spot. However, the Aquamen have a game in hand. I'd just like to point that out.
Whatever helps you sleep at night, Kristin.
Yep. So top three though, Hamilton, Pacific, and the YU guys. Like they're all solidly in double digits for points. And then everybody else is just kind of, yes, Halifax is in last with 6, but we've got 6, 7, 8, 9. Like literally, that's it. So, we've got the top three battling it out for supremacy. Calgary still only has 1 win. Like they are this bottom group is just not figuring it out. Well, Ottawa's got 2 wins, but far more losses than, and like they've got 4 losses on the season, so they anyway, it's just what.
Sorry, since you're not going to the game on Saturday for TFC, can I have your ticket?
But I'm going.
Oh, you're not going to the Kristin Derby in Hamilton on Saturday? Forge versus Pacific? Who are you anymore? I mean, granted, there's always a Kristin Derby every week in the KMPL because you support 4 teams.
Most leagues, really.
But like, this is like the original Kristin Derby. How? Okay, all right, sure. Call yourself a fan. Yeah, that's we'll see if Pacific can make that game in hand worth anything if they can steal some pointage.
Well, with all the goals they score, something should happen. So
all the goals. That goal differential +9 is a bit.
Hey, you pad that goal differential wherever you can. If you do it against one of the worst teams in the league, then more power to you.
Bit generous.
Well, it's not it's there in black and white. It's
generous.
Don't be bitter. All right, let's move on from this. Yay, we have another Canadian national soccer team going to a World Cup. That's right, the U20 women's side has qualified for the U20 World Cup. It's very exciting. It was a little dicey whether or not they were going to make it. They'd been having, pretty solid tournament and then suffered at least one rather unfortunate loss. But had strong comeback win over Costa Rica in the 3rd place match, which means huzzah, qualification.
Hooray.
Score twice in extra time to do it. But again, huzzah, qualification. Who cares how they did it? They did it. That's the important thing. And apparently there are some players with the Canadian system that can score goals. So yay. It's great.
Fantastic. That's exciting.
So yeah, but that will be fun to watch. I think I'm trying to think of like they lost the loss against Mexico on Friday. That was disappointing considering how they've been playing. But anyway, they should hopefully have a strong tournament. I'm just trying to see. I can't remember when it is or where it is this time. But Anyway, huzzah, congratulations. It's wonderful. There are, if you get a chance to like just go online and watch some of the highlights, I think Canucks Abroad and wsoccer.ca, they both did some good game threads and probably have some video, but definitely worth a gander, as it were. All right, well, next up, it is what we're talking about. And while, yes, we are going to talk about TFC, we had a couple other things we want to mention first. And you know what? We're going to do a little throwback to something that kept us going through the first year of the pandemic. That kept this show going through the first year of the pandemic. That is our beloved Belarusian League. I'm here with an update. It's our correspondent, Mark Hinckley. Mark.
Thank you, Kristin.
You're welcome.
We did this out of order, didn't we? Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's old. We forgot how it went. Usually Tony does a voice, and I thank him. Anyway, yeah. So, not that there's anything particularly interesting going on necessarily at the top of the league. It's kind of at the bottom of the league, and what happened last year that has recently come out. And yeah, you probably didn't see it on your favorite blogs or your favorite Twitters, including mine, because I'm obviously one of your favorites. But apparently there was.
I'm saying obviously. Sorry.
Obviously. Thank you.
Sorry. Interruption.
You're right.
Keep going.
So it turns out there was a little bit of, this is going to surprise everybody. Hope you're sitting down. Match fixing last year. I know, right?
Oh,
match fixing.
So
in football,
I know, in Belarus, the most even, natural, honest, forthright country and league on the planet can be corrupted. Can you believe it? So it turns out that champions Shakhtar Solgarsk was match fixed a whole bunch of games. They won their league. They won their league pretty easily, if I remember looking at it. So it all came out in the wash, and first thing that was levied against them was they were stripped of the title, and it was handed to who happened to be in second, but Bate Borisov. Go fucking figure. Whatever. Not to be outdone, penalties have been levied against the teams going forward for this season. Shakhtar has been assigned 50 points total over 2 seasons, including a 35-point deduction this season. Other teams who were caught out were energetic BGU, who got hit with the next most with 23 points. And
that's also the name of my BG's cover band, by the way.
Yeah, no, it's do yourself a favor. Check out that cover band. They are fantastic. They're on SoundCloud. They're on Bandcamp. Fantastic stuff. Anyway, and there was a third club. And, you know, sometimes in a man's life, one must take an 11-point hit. Belshina was the third victim slash. You know what I'm talking about. So the 3 teams were Belshina, Energetic, and Shakhtar. So now I find this is particularly interesting. So the season is still fresh. It's like there's 10 games in the season. They play 28 games for the whole season, and Shakhtar isn't in last. They are at -12. 1 point ahead of Energetic BGU and closing in on Belshina at -6. There is a very realistic chance that Shakhtar are going to survive this quite easily. They have 7 wins. If they didn't have the punishment levied against them, they would be currently tied for second. So they are still a ass-kicking team. Just who knows who they're buying off these days. So that's all I can really report on this. Bate gets their Champions League / European. It's probably not even Champions League, but their European qualifying spot, and on we go.
Who'd have thunk it?
I know.
Belarus.
I'm disappointed and disheartened.
How does Brest feel about this?
They feel
Turkey?
Or no, I was gonna say supported. But they're a little low right now. I mean, they're currently like right now all three clubs that are in the drop zone are the three with negative.
Oh, you don't want your breast in the drop zone.
No. Bad.
Boy.
It's a bad posture thing, Kristin.
I said breast as in Dynamo. I'm talking football, Kristin.
Yeah. Oh, right. Sorry. Apologies.
But they're currently in fifth from the bottom, and they're not doing too good. So, and Rook's gone. So this is just one. There's no proper derby no more.
It's a one breast league.
It's a one breast league, which I get it. That's just.
Can we get a team from Total Recall just to like balance that out?
That would be a 3 breast league.
Wouldn't that make it 4
balanced? Then there'd be 2 breasts.
It'd be 2 sets of. Anyway, okay.
2 sets.
What if you got? Wait a minute.
It made sense.
If you brought it, if there's already 1 breast there, if you brought the Total Recall teams, that means that you would add
4 breasts.
2. What?
No, you'd add 3.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You'd have 2. That's why I said it.
4.
You would then have 2 pairs.
Exactly. So it would even things out.
Gigawatts.
Literally.
Slutsk. Back to you, Kristin.
Thanks, Mark. One more thing before we talk TFC. Zlatan has retired.
Oh, fuck off. No. Move on.
If you looked at the rundown, you would know that was in there.
I thought Duncan was leading this section.
I'm not sad about it. I'm shocked that he actually did it. I figured he was going to like just go sign for some other team and let his ego massively ruin everything just because, it's him. I just thought it was funny.
If he's going to sort of quit without being one of the people that goes off to Saudi Arabia for hundreds of millions, good for him. Yeah.
It is kind of what I was expecting him to do, though.
Aside from that, though, fuck the guy.
100%.
Well, yeah. I mean, Manchester United legend, but no, he's not. Yeah, don't fuck that guy.
MLS legend
and an important. To be fair, like an important player of the I will never deny that. I don't know if anyone can deny it, but just important in the sense that I've never seen a player I wanted to open-handed slap so many times.
So much.
But he also backed up all of his bullshit
with so much
with
fucking
some
talent.
Unnatural goddamn footballing wizardry. It's ridiculous.
Yep.
So I feel like that's always going to be the thing I will take away from his career is that I've never seen somebody so goddamn audacious and deliver. That's not even, that's beyond ego. That's a complete other fucking plane of mental fortitude / insanity. So bye. I think that's what I'm trying to say.
Although, okay, as much as we hate his bull, the little thing snippet he said while he was on the mic at I guess.
Oh my god, that was fucking hilarious.
Kind of funny. Well, the Hellas Verona away support was booing him while he gave his little speech, and he turned to them and kind of told them to shut up and told them it was the greatest moment of the year just seeing him.
That's a very wrestling kind of.
It was, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe he'll transition into wrestling.
There's no way. They're never going to pay him enough. But my God, he would have been so good. He would have been so good. And you give him 3 or 4 years under the right people, and he could headline WrestleMania. Because you still want to see him get his ass beat. Except it's wrestling, so he kind of would get his ass beat. I'd pay money to see that 100%. Guys, I'm having fucking pay-per-view over at my house. Who wants to see Zlatan get his ass kicked?
From Sweden.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I would show up snacks in hand. I would bring the drinks for that 100%. I would be on board.
Yeah.
wonder how we talk to his people and make that happen. No, anyway.
I mean, it's obvious, though, I mean, that you don't like sign up if he actually gets to win in the end. He's not going to go and sign up for a big wrestling thing and lose. He's all like martial artsy and that sort of thing. I
would love to be in the room when they try to explain to him
blood sport.
The logic of. I would like to see them try to explain to him the logic of like, no, you have to lose so we can sell the pay-per-view later. Zlatan doesn't lose.
We need like a blood sport tournament. And it's just got to be Zlatan versus Van Damme, which is also fun to say.
Kumite.
Yes, exactly. We're just full of good ideas tonight. Well done, everybody.
Yeah, no, we're full stride here.
That's what happens when we have the gang back together. It's good stuff.
Oh.
Well, okay. Well, let's talk about TFC for a little bit. I know. But
I feel like they want the whole pay-per-view named after him. And it's all going to be WrestleMania and like Zlatan's here. It doesn't have to be
Zlatanamania.
Zlatan.
The Royal Zlatan.
The Royal, yeah. Summer Zlatan, Royal Zlatan. Yeah.
Summer Zlatan. Zlatan Slam.
There's a really good one. I know it. Hang on. I'm going to blurt it out like in 20 minutes.
Mark's going to get it in 20 minutes.
I'll be.
We'll be talking about the Voyageurs Cup. No,
I'm going to pull out the most random fucking pay-per-view name that fits perfectly. And about 3 people who I know by name who are going to get this, and they will message me. That's really good. Nobody else will. Okay.
I just patented the Zoil Zumble, so don't try it.
The Zoil. Oh no. Okay, so drama in TFC land, which, as we all know, is nothing new. Like this that's our comfort zone. That's we were born out of drama in TFC land, right? Like, so when things are working for TFC, it's confusing and feels odd and it's just strange. So this feels very normal. But it's been a while since, we've had like we've had a player calling out the coach and then, I don't think, have we ever had like a public benching like that at TFC before?
We've had go burn in the sun in Dallas, but
yes, that was pretty, yeah, good point. Shorts to Julian B. And then I'm sure, with like Altidore. Or did he like publicly bench himself? He kind of publicly benched himself, didn't he? That Montreal match. Anyway. So there was, again, Toronto have not been good this season. And we've talked about it a lot, and we've talked about all the injuries, and obviously that's a big issue, but it's also, there's a lack of identity. Anyway, but there's also been a lack of consistency from, your 2 biggest players, which is Bernardeschi and Insigne. We haven't seen the Bernardeschi from last season, which, was a highlight for that part of the year. And Insigne, as we mentioned, has been uneven. So it felt like after that denouncement of sorts by Bernardeschi, and then it took, what was it, like 4 or 5 days before Bob Bradley responded, which I also found curious.
To be fair, he was seething.
Was he?
Yeah, he's a long seether.
Oh.
I just love that. I mean, it's Bernie's comments there. Well, a couple of things about it. I mean, one, was just saying, "Oh, Jake, there's no plan. We don't know what we're doing." I mean, that's kind of what we've been saying all along. I feel like that's what Tony in particular. Every time we talk about the team, Tony's very much like, "Yeah, they look like a team that's got nothing. They don't know what they're doing," and that's pretty much exactly what Bernie came out and said, which I loved.
I'm not saying I'm in his ear or anything, but
and I just loved that it was Bernie. I think the whole time it's been he's the like fun, exciting, chipper one. He's happy to be here and what have you. And Insignia's the sulky one. And then it's fucking Bernie that's coming out and causing all the drama.
Well, and then after the DC match, after the delightful DC match, and obviously again, Insigne playing his best football in a year kind of thing, oh no, I don't have any problems with the coach. I love it here. My family loves it here. No drama for me. Like, it was like, I don't know what you're all are talking about. And then whatever, one of the authors, Josh Cloak, who did the Athletic article with all the drama in the background, was kind of, I saw a clip of him on someone else's show who was kind of like, we wrote that stuff for a reason. But anyway, so there was like secret Zoom call with a bunch of the players. There were, no one wants to talk to Michael Bradley because they think he's going to just like rat them out to his dad. The Mark Anthony Kay as his second son kind of thing, like, because Mark Anthony Kay has been defending Bob.
Again, it's just, and I freaking love that shit that it's like Michael Bradley is.
That was hilarious and not surprising.
And I just love that the whole sort of daddy thing that we've had going again. Oh yeah, that's pretty much it. It's probably Papa rather than Daddy, but yeah.
Oh no, it's Dad. It's Daddy. It's always Daddy.
Mm-hmm.
So with all of that, like, like the Brandusky comments, and then the Athletic article came out, the drama at the Voyageurs Cup match, like all of these things happened within like a week. And it just felt like, oh man, like if it's gonna happen, it's gonna any second now, it's gonna happen. And then that DC match. And you see and I will give props to the Toronto FC media team for some of the things they managed to pull together. And I don't know if someone's in, like, does Bob have a coach, an agent that says, okay, Bob, this is what you're gonna say before the match so we can make some good fucking YouTube content.
It's his
because
dad.
If you've seen, it's probably his dad. If you've seen the or his brother's in comms, right? Also works for the team. If you've seen the clip of his pre-match, fire him up speech, that's probably one of the most passionate things I've ever seen from Bob Bradley. Like his tone of voice changed, which I didn't think he did. But and he said, I want everyone to go out there and play big, and personalities, and everyone have the match of their lot, like just have their best match. And they all fucking did it. Like, it was like, okay, how scripted is MLS? Really? What's happening here? So that match, and then the subsequent two middling matches, like, guys, did this just save Bob Bradley? And consequently, Bill Manning.
Briefly.
Yeah. What have I done for you lately? Call me in a few weeks.
I mean, I'd still, buy a lot of what was going on in that Athletic article. That
yeah,
that people are still upset with him, and that the Italians want to go home, and they're all pissed off and all that sort of thing, and just, things are potentially going to happen still. This is clearly not over, but for now, I guess it's you got another couple of weeks or so, and we'll see what happens. But yeah,
I mean, I think the performance definitely increased the length of rope, like the leash he's got. I don't think it was as short as everybody wanted it to be.
Oh, I don't think it ever was. No.
Yeah. Like, I think it was, I mean, it definitely took the pressure off. Let's be honest. I don't know how much booing took place when Chicago was in town, but I can't imagine it was all that much compared to what we saw Saturday, which was always going to be comical to me.
I totally forgot to mention that. Thank you for bringing that up, Mark.
I almost started booing you when during the intros, and I thought, no, that might be too far from when it happened anyway.
Yeah, that was something. Booing when they finally introduced the coach during the intros before the match.
Yeah, and I will say, just to go back to that match, Kristin forgot to mention that for those of you who didn't see the game, Mark Anthony Kaye got booked for nepotism. So,
so is that a straight red?
No, it's yellow, but he also got a yellow for nepotism the following game.
Oh,
so they're really
He's
cracking
getting a
down.
nepotism accumulation. Yeah.
Yeah, nepotism accumulation. Yeah, after 6 games, you just have to sit in a corner.
Oh, right.
And you go to bed with no dinner.
Oh.
So, yeah,
man,
it's rough. But
MLS is rough.
But
is there a daddy disco to check on these things?
Probably, but that's what happens between parents who love each other. Okay, just we don't talk about.
Although I think Disco Daddy was Bob Bradley's name in the 70s.
Oh yeah, it looks like he partied. So yeah, it's I think it's fine. I think not that it's ever going to be at the level that we feel like the club should be at, that the team should be at, because they're Toronto FC and it's tradition to be uncomfortable sitting in 10th spot all the time. So yeah, I feel like the pressure's off for at least another game or two before the Boo Birds come back and start booing and making new T-shirts with even more basic fonts on them.
Is that your issue with the T-shirts? The font wasn't.
Yeah, it was, Duncan. I designed a fucking Toronto FC jersey. God damn it! You damn right.
If there's one thing accountants get angry about, it's fonts.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Fucking Times New Roman this. Anyway.
Yeah, so I think so out of the injured players, so the two that are missed the most, maybe not in the locker room, Michael Bradley and Jonathan Osorio, right? So both apparently are projected to come back potentially by the end of this month. Although I don't think Michael Bradley is anywhere, but maybe Jonathan Osorio. Shane O'Neill, who knows? Victor Vasquez, is he ever coming back from Spain? Probably not.
I
don't know. I would like to see him play again. That would be nice. Diamande, Matt Hedges hopefully is still okay. With the Leagues Cup thing starting in it's like a month and a half, right? And Gold Cup and all these things. Like there's international players are going to be going. I'm not sure who's going to be missing this weekend, but like if there's like some actual return of some players like over this next month, and then they have like the schedule break for the Leagues Cup sort of thing, and they hang on, like they're okay. So right now, where are TFC? They're still below the playoff line, but they're slowly, and again, the bottom of the table is just so mushed together, but they're like they're a win and some luck from some teams above them out of a playoff spot right now, kind of thing. And so still attainable. It is MLS, and they do try to make it as easy as possible for everybody, right? If they don't fuck up entirely. Now, their next stretch is not easy because they're playing like the best team, the second best team, and like the 5th or 6th best team. Those are their next 3 matches or something. So that sounds horrible.
You mean DC, Chicago, and Minnesota wasn't a tough run of games?
I know. No. But I will say, for one, Toronto not playing down to a crappy team was nice to see.
Fair. That's a good point. That is a good point. Because
that's their MO.
They have done that before once or twice, yes.
Yeah. So yeah, it's I don't know. Like I think I really do. I think unless unless they are and somehow fallen apart again. I say somehow, it could happen any second, but I just don't see them getting rid. If that didn't get Bob fired and Bill Manning along with him, like if that didn't happen, or they didn't like take away one of Bob's jobs, you know, so that he can focus on either being the director or being the manager, then it's not happening this year. Like we have him till the end of the season, and that's just it. And I don't think Bill Manning's going anywhere at all.
It's only June. It's only June.
I know.
What if they crash out of the vaunted League's Cup?
That's a good point. That's a good point, Tony. I mean, just imagine the international embarrassment.
I know.
Not wrong. Not wrong.
That's fair. That's fair. Has everyone bought their tickets?
So
Actually, weren't they in our package, Mark? I can't remember.
I don't know. I didn't know I had to opt in for that. I probably do.
I think it just shows up.
Just like the tournament.
Burn.
When is it's Atlas, right? Yeah.
Yes, it is. It's Atlas. It's a Sunday, and that's as much as I know.
Right.
As in, I'd rather sit home and read through an atlas.
Oh no, I'm going.
Fair. You and I, Tony, might be the only two people who would actually say that aloud.
Love a good atlas.
Oh my God. Give me a really good atlas and fuck all the other books I own. Yeah, I'm talking to you.
I have a giant atlas that my dad gave to me. That was his that when I moved out because he knew I loved it, that I still have
does it have Rhodesia in it?
I think so.
Yeah.
I know so.
Yeah. Okay.
Is it only Warsaw Pact countries?
The world atlas. Thank you very much.
The world as seen through the lens of the Kremlin.
So it's got Vietnam in it too. Okay, got it.
Oh my God.
I'm sure Cuba's there.
Yeah, sure.
Of course.
A complete atlas. All 18 countries are in it.
There's one of those special pages with the inset blocks, you know. Also Cuba. And Angola.
North America. It's just Cuba.
So then a couple other questions, you know, whether or not, you know, I guess we'll revisit the Bob question as the weeks go on. But, you know, it's interesting, like talking about like that secret meeting that they had. And, you know, a lot of people are saying that like Insigne and Bernardeschi weren't getting along, and yet you see their socials and they clearly spend a ton of time together and stuff like that. So whether they have carefully crafted social media or whether the not getting along is, anyway, it's just, there's so much stuff that's never going to probably come to light, or at least not for ages and ages and ages. But of course, we've had the rumors about whether or not Bernardeschi is even going to stay. You know, there's a lot of chatter that he's going to fuck off during the summer transfer window. I don't think Insigne is going anywhere because there's no way in hell he's going to get the kind of money he gets anywhere else right now.
Saudi Arabia.
Until he's or
he's going to go back to Napoli and lead them to a Scudetto.
But the big player question, honestly, is Richie Larea. Because his loan is ending soon. And they've all kind of been dodging the question a little bit, kind of like, you know, we really like Richie. We obviously want to keep him, but we're going to talk about that later. And Richie's kind of like, I've, you know, really enjoying my time here and not really saying anything. Do you think he's going to stay? And how bad for TFC will it be if he leaves?
I think the day that Forest saved that, you know, booked their ticket to be stay in the Premier League for next season, I think he was staying. I don't think there's any room for him on a Premier League side.
But then does that just mean, all right, well, I'll stay with Toronto? Or is it a case of, all right, let's find me some other championship team that I can try and get into that isn't going to get itself magically promoted to the Premier League and fuck everything up for me?
Well, that's up to him.
Presumably he left there because he wanted to explore all that in the first place.
Yeah, I would hope for his own like goals or like progression of his career, he might have a go in the championship for a full season. if I shouldn't say he was absolutely a no chancer for Forest, but it seems unlikely, in my opinion. They'll be, they're going to try to consolidate their position in the league by probably buying more, experienced Premier League style players, etc. But it would be nice, I think, for his, at least to justify why he, signed with Forest at all in the first place, to spend a full year in the championship and show what he can do. And then hopefully if he shows enough of what he can do, he would be more of a consideration, either midway through the season or at the end of next season, to grab a place at Forest.
Second part of the question there, that would be fucking terrible for TFC because he's been the best player on the team this year.
Yeah.
Read.
So they would be a big loss. There's, but I'm going to see, okay, who's the obvious guy that's going to fill in at right back and do the same kind of thing? I
have no idea. JMR, no.
I feel like they tried that and it didn't work out.
Yeah. I don't see, that's the thing that I can't figure out. Other positions on that team, they're not necessarily all brilliant backup plans, but there are backup plans. But yeah, that is not great. One last thing.
TFC, whatever. Do what's best for you, Richie. You go out there and take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Go to
Star
Nashville.
is rising. Go to Nashville. He doesn't need to go to Nashville. He's too good to go to Nashville.
Oh no, he'll just get better when he goes to Nashville. I mean,
right.
The
have you seen Lucas McNaughton scoring goals? Yeah, I know, right? So,
yeah. Right.
We'll talk about that in a minute. Before we move on to that, what's coming up section. It is mid-season apparently. I don't know how that's happened, but apparently it is. 17 matches, 34. Okay, yeah, mid-season. Because they're taking a month off, and that's why it feels far too early. Who is outside of Richie Larea, who I think we all agree has been a standout. I do think it's funny that the refs have figured out that maybe he's not always completely honest with his fouls. But he does get fouled a lot too, which is funny. Who is your standout through the first half of the season? And you can caveat that with the fact that we haven't had a consistent lineup to draw from. But who's your standout for this season so far? Or who is the best pickup they made? Whatever, just what's something that's been good for you from TFC in the first half of the season?
All right, I'm just gonna go with Sean Johnson right off the top. That's so easy pickings.
I mean, you might as well because it's an excellent answer.
Yeah, it literally is the. I might even consider making an argument. It's the best. He's the best next after or before. But
yeah,
regardless, I can set my watch to him, and that's all I wanted of a keeper is consistency and the occasional feats of holy shittedness, and he does those things on the regular with a defensive Swiss cheese. So, thank you, Sean. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, agreed. Johnson and Larea, clearly the two bright spots. Hedges appears to make a difference to the defense when he's there. They're clearly better than when he's not, but he hasn't been there a lot. So, you can't really say, he's been like the best player. I mean, his impact has clearly been shown during his absences. But, Johnson, Larea, for sure.
Bernadette, because I love the drums.
Totally fair. Sean Johnson for sure. But again, and some of this is injury tinged, unfortunately. But I have enjoyed the contributions of Cervenia. And I think Mabika has been a really good pickup. And it was nice to see them pick up a young player. He's 23, 24. So certainly young by TFC standards anyway. In a position in which they needed somebody good. And, we got ourselves a nice big central defender. Like, this is kind of exciting shit. And Coelho before he got injured, nice talking about bringing up players through the academy. Like, we can talk about Cozy Thompson, or Kobe Franklin, who we all like. But those couple, I don't think TFC has done a great job in grabbing players from MLS or from elsewhere in the last couple of years. And I think bringing up Coelho, but also grabbing Cervenia and Mabika, I think were also really good. But obviously Sean Johnson. Well, all right. What's coming up? So we got two things we're going to talk about. We are going to talk about this weekend's TFC match, the return of the shuffleboard and the supermodel, and then the Voyageurs Cup final, which is this week. Yay! Even though Toronto's not in it, and it's two MLS teams again. All right. This weekend at home, Toronto welcomes the second best team. Nashville are very good this year, and that's been something. Jacob Schaffelberg, and Lucas McNaughton famously, sent off there and have been quite successful. Immediately integrated into the team. Schaffelberg, scored some nice goals. Lucas McNaughton has scored a goal. The team is excellent at home, less excellent away, which is good. But they're pretty tidy defensively. They think they've let in, the second lowest amount of goals this season by any team in MLS. And for a team like Toronto that just has no problems, oh God. So that should go wonderfully well. I think they have, they have a pretty even history. I think it's 2-2-2 over the long history of the matches. And they already had one of TFC's patented 2023 draws against them this season. So, that's a good sign.
Classic.
Yeah. I feel like this one is fraught with weirdness. I don't know. The return of two players that fans, especially Jacob Schaffelberg, were upset to see go. Nashville just on a tear this season so far. And Toronto still, precarious. What are you guys thoughts on this match?
Yeah, it's going to go wrong, isn't it? TFC.
Welcome back, Duncan.
Yeah, it is.
As you say, Nashville appear to be good. And yes, I do not see this ending well at all.
I would say it's okay. Very tactically, could sum it up in 3 words: shake, rattle, roll.
Thank you, Honky Tonk Man.
Well done.
Nashville SC. They're cool. They're cocky. They're bad.
God.
Yes.
I can't stop thinking of those sideburns.
Yeah, I know. That's all that's in my head now.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just looking at Nashville's record, and I know we were just saying that Toronto FC have shown a marked improvement over the last couple of weeks.
Just look at their road record. It's somewhat better. No, it's not that great.
But I think that we're gonna get the park. Someone's gonna pull the emergency brake, and this thing's gonna come grinding to a halt. Yeah. I'm not super optimistic about this.
Yeah. So So this week's Nashville. Next week is Cincinnati, the top team in the East, the way. And the week after that, it's the Tea Terrorists. Oh God, because there's a tiny. Oh, they get a little bit of a break though because Nations League. So it'll be fine. They'll be well rested before they travel to go face two of the best teams in the league. It's fine. It's no big deal. Oh God. All right. Yeah. 3 of the top 4 in the next 3 weeks for Toronto. Amazing. It's awesome stuff. Oh dear. Okay, players to watch. Let's look at players to watch. That's always fun. Other than you can look at shuffleboard if you want. That's fine. Or the supermodel, or that guy that scores all their goals, whose name I'm not even going to say. Yeah, with you. You guys can talk about him. If I say it, bad things will happen.
Like he'll shatter his knee or something.
He'll score, and then my stepmother will yell at me.
I mean, bad thing against us.
Yes.
I mean, there's some good names in this. There's some good names in this list.
Moyle.
I mean, I'm mostly just amused at seeing CJ Sapong on this list.
Yeah, I was looking at that. I thought, that's dangerous.
Is somebody not telling us a thing? Because he don't play there no more.
That's funny. I forgot that stays on there. Dessert. Dessert the second. I apologize.
I was just surprised to see Kristin and Sa on the roster. He hasn't got a minute yet, but
wait,
former York United.
Right. I was like, wait a second. I know this name.
I know,
he's there?
Yeah, I had no idea. I mean, it was probably
holy crap.
Probably in some kind of press release at some point in time that just didn't register because he don't play no Forge. So whatever.
I had no idea.
I'm gonna. All right, so I'm just gonna do the Dan Lovitz because I don't care.
Nice. With Booker T. Washington.
Nice.
Please,
T. Washington, but
yeah.
Hopefully, he every game he plays, he's got to get booked. Surely.
Every
feels referee.
right.
Yeah, every referee is going to go out there. Yeah, I'm going to book you, T. Washington. I'm going to book T. Washington. It's going to happen. Yeah.
Yeah, Mark. What kind of vodka do you have available?
I was just going to go. I'm not with an accent, but I was just going to bring that one up. But yes, that's a good choice.
Do you have any Grey Goose?
Fafa Pico. It's
Fafa Pico.
It's always just a good name.
Catch him if you can.
Great name. Oh, he's having a decent season too. Damn it! What the hell?
Shaq.
Like, look at this. Look at this. This is annoying. All these talented players.
Animal good boy.
What?
Oh, Annabelle Godoy. Sorry.
Oh.
I didn't have my glasses on.
And I know we already did this earlier this season, but Dax Bacardi's still a thing.
I know. I'd forgotten again. I keep forgetting. Yeah. Does he still have the stash? Does he still have the horrible porn stash?
I don't know, but I think the thing we need to just put a pin in and remember that we've been saying this for probably the last 3 years of his career. Yeah. Oh, Dax Bacardi's still a thing? He's with enter name of team here. Fuck yeah, we're going to say it next year too.
Also, I think we might have mentioned this last time we talked about them, but maybe not. Steve Guppy's the assistant coach.
Oh shit, that's right.
That sounds familiar. I feel like that's
Lester.
We definitely talked about it, but I had already completely forgotten all over again.
That's why. That's because this is a great mice league full of great.
I didn't realize he had a stellar 5 appearances with DC United in 2005 and 6.
Oh.
And his final club. Anyone want to take a guess at the career-ending club of long journeyman Steve Guppy?
No.
Something like that.
I will get it wrong.
Probably ends up at
Kaiser Chiefs in South Africa.
Oh, that's a good one. I'm gonna.
Ooh, that is a good one.
It is on our continent. I'm going to say that.
Oh, our continent. Oh,
Oh,
Indy 11.
Rochester Raging Rhinos.
Well
Sacramento.
done.
Oh, Rochester.
It was
Oh.
Rochester Rhinos.
Wow.
Damn.
Wow. Okay.
Well then. All right.
Hey, this is a guy with one England cap. I'll have you know.
Yeah. Well,
Did
if
he
he made it all the
steal
way
it?
to Rochester, he just needs to hold on for a little bit longer. He could have come to Toronto.
Yeah. Wait, he played for
Could have caught the
Rochester when.
ferry.
Hey, he played for Rochester when Toronto was a club. When TFC was a club.
Oh. Yeah, he could have arranged a ferry ride over, you'd think.
Yeah, what was it? What was that ferry highway?
Cool for cats or something? I don't know.
The H2O something.
Was it? Was it
Yeah.
H2O? I thought it was something cat. Oh no, that's the one out east.
It had some bad water highway 420
Right.
like
420.
Yeah. Hey, like 410, the 400 series. But it wasn't anyway. Doesn't matter.
The Gargler Expressway.
Yeah.
The anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, good time.
Well,
Rochester.
score predictions for this one.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say pain. Yes. How bad is it going to be, Duncan?
3-0.
Ooh.
You're not even going to ask me who to?
Oh god.
No.
Oh god. I'm
3-1 for me.
Oh.
Yeah. Steve Guppy accidentally puts his head over the line, ball bounces off on goal.
I'll do 2-1 for Nashville.
Two-one Toronto.
Wow.
I know. Oh, I know.
Wow.
I know.
Gags.
Oh, regret.
Less.
Because out of their next like 3 or 4 matches, this is the one that they actually have a shot at. Oh no. Okay. Let's move on to something slightly happier, although again, we don't like any of the teams that are in the final, but the Voyageurs Cup final is on Wednesday night. Yay!
Yay.
Day
10
after
p.m. Jesus.
10 p.m. Yep.
Ugh.
Get a nap in if you can.
No, I'm just going to be sleeping. That's
No.
too late.
Vancouver is hosting. After
I think I got Rocket League or something.
So before the semifinal matches, we were we had some enthusiasm that at least one, probably Pacific, just based on Hamilton versus Montreal history, was and Vancouver didn't seem that good. We thought there was a chance. So no, both MLS teams blanked their CanPL counterparts in their semifinal matches. Like Vancouver manhandled Pacific basically at Starlight, and Hamilton didn't look much better against Montreal.
We had fun, Kristin. We had fun.
Did you? Did you really?
I didn't go.
Was it the
so
friends you made along the way? Because that was not a fun match.
Jeez, who would do that? That's
at least they didn't lose on penalties this time.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah,
there's an improvement
progress
or something. Instead of scoring enough goals to go to penalties, we scored none.
Why so mean, Kristin?
Yeah, you're not even going to the Kristin Derby on Saturday.
No, I'm unhappy about both of this. I was frustrated watching those matches because I honestly thought they'd be more competitive from both matches. Like I absolutely expected. I thought Hamilton would do the traditional tie to penalties or at least get a goal. And I certainly thought the Pacific was going to make a fucking game of it against Vancouver. And they did not. It was depressing. So
Yeah.
I'm still upset.
Because we're delusional about how big the gap actually still is.
I know. It's a comfortable delusion, though.
Oh, I'm all for the delusion. I mean, I've been to more York United games to see them try to beat an MLS team than I've seen them play against just fucking anyone else. That's how delusional I am. I've gone up the 407 to watch them lose to MLS teams.
Well done, Mark. Well done.
Anyway, so in the final, we have Vancouver hosting Montreal. Again, 10 p.m. Tomorrow night, day after recording. And it's just, it can I know neither of them can win. So who do we want least? I don't know. What's the least offensive winner in this?
Montreal. Vancouver have no business winning the Voyageurs Cup.
That's true. It is tradition.
They've done it like a couple of times now, so the joke's kind of over. But it's still Vancouver in the Voyageurs Cup.
Fair.
No, Montreal will do something to fuck over Vancouver. Tater Torderson will not even be watching, but he'll just get angry. He won't know why, but he'll just get angry
and cause a thunderstorm.
Yes.
Yes.
Indeed.
That it's perfectly fine for his players to go back out into. Everyone can play in that weather. It's not a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Montreal might be looking for a little revenge from an early season loss to Vancouver when Montreal were still shit at the beginning of the season. 5-0.
Woof.
Yeah. So there's that. All right, well then, predictions for the 2023 Voyageurs Cup final, gentlemen.
All right,
I'm going to go Montreal.
I'm going to go out on a limb and I'm going to find out who won in the morning. Thanks, Duncan. Thanks. That's exactly the reaction that deserves. I don't give a shit. The only thing that, what the funny part is? I give a shit about the Voyageurs Cup final to the beginning and end extent of they're going to award it, right? Okay, that's it. That's all I care about. So if you're going to make me do a prediction, Kristin, I'm going to go 4-0 Montreal.
Do it. Yes, perfect. I love it.
Reasons previously outlined. Fuck Vancouver. But
that all seems reasonable to me. So, yeah, Tony.
1-0 Montreal in extra time.
Ooh.
Thriller.
3-1 Montreal.
Okay.
Yeah. Vancouver will score first, false sense of security, and then Montreal will destroy them.
Consensus Claxon. Awooga.
Awooga. Yeah. There. It's all there.
Indeed. All right. Well, that is our show for this week. Welcome back, everybody. It's great to have everyone back. Please join us next week when we review what happened in the Voyageurs Cup, see if everyone else is right about TFC versus Nashville, or if I'm shockingly right. I won't be, but anyway. See if Bob still has his job. Bob's job. And look ahead to Canada's semifinal Nations League match against Panama.
Ooh.
That's on Thursday.
And semi.
Everyone loves a semi.
Really?
I don't know.
Do they?
Probably not.
Nope.
And by then we will know what the full official squad is, and we will discuss that as well. And then whatever else is exciting or interesting to us in the world of football. I have been joined by the entire Vocal Minority Podcast panel, to be found out there on the Twitters at Duncan D. Fletcher, Mr. Duncan Fletcher.
I would have said more, but I was uncomfortable talking around Mark because I know Mark's just going to talk to Kristin and say what I said, so I didn't really want to say anything.
Oh, no. Out on the tweet machines, holding it down at Vocal Minority CA, Mr. Tony Walsh.
I'm in the bathtub. I've got prune hands.
And a very deep voice.
Oh.
On the Twitters at KitNerdMark with a K, not a Q, Mr. Mark Hinckley.
Thank you to everybody who continues to support our podcast, even when we take breaks. Via Patreon. We continue to appreciate your support. We still got shirts. Tony did a bunch. You can find those on our Zazzle shop, on our website, Vocal Minority CA. And Kristin, you won't believe what Duncan was saying earlier in this segment about you. It was. I don't know if I can say it here.
Mark, come on, Jesus.
Mark, we'll talk later, Mark. Thank you for being so loyal.
God damn it, Mark.
That's what
remember.
Hey,
Duncan Fletcher? You'll never believe him now.
Oh. Hashtag marks for nepotism.
Return of the Mark. As for me, you can find me.
Yes.
You can find me on the internet. Yes, the entire internet at KZ Knowles. I have been your host, Kristin Knowles. Until next week, Canada. Get used to it.